Hello there and welcome back. I'm Dr. Raymond Sinclair, and this is Senior Strength, the channel where we keep you strong, steady, and independent with simple exercises you can do right at home. I'm really glad you're here today because what we're covering is one of the most important things I teach in my practice, and I think it may surprise you. I want to start with something I see more than almost any other sign of quiet physical decline, and it concerns me every single time. I see patients, people who walk in looking well, who feel reasonably healthy, who are managing their days just fine, who have quietly, gradually lost the ability to get up from a chair without pushing off the armrests, without grabbing a table, without a hand from someone nearby, and almost every single one of them says the same thing. They thought it was just getting older. They noticed it was harder than it used to be, and they assumed that was normal, that everyone their age felt this way, that this was just what 75 or 80 felt like. It is not normal, and it is not inevitable, and that is exactly what today is about. Here is what I want you to really understand. The ability to rise from a chair on your own, to go from seated to fully standing without using your arms, without leaning on anything, just the strength of your own legs, is one of the most carefully studied, most consistently reliable predictors of independence that researchers in aging and physical function have ever measured. When a clinician wants to understand how much functional strength and vitality an older adult has in reserve, one of the first things they look at is whether that person can rise from a chair unaided, smoothly, safely, in control. Large studies that have followed older adults over many years have found that the seniors who struggle with an unassisted chair rise, who take a long time, who use their arms heavily, who feel unsteady when they get up, those individuals are significantly more likely to experience a serious fall. They are more likely to need assistance with everyday activities. They are more likely to require a higher level of care sooner than their peers who move through a chair rise easily. There is even a clinical test used in physician offices and physical therapy settings around the world where a person is asked to rise from a chair and sit back down 5 times in a row as quickly and safely as possible while the clinician counts the seconds. A slow time on that test is one of the strongest, most consistent predictors researchers have of fall risk, of functional decline, and of whether a person will be living independently 5 years from now. It carries that much weight. And yet this ability fades without announcement. There is no alarm that goes off. There is no single moment where everything changes. The muscles involved simply weaken a little more each month, quietly, gradually, until one day the chair rise is an effort, and then a struggle, and then something you plan your environment around. You choose chairs with armrests, you avoid low seats, you brace on the counter in the kitchen, and those muscles get weaker still because the brain has learned to rely on the arms instead. That pattern is completely reversible. And the 90-second routine I am going to walk you through today, done every single day, is precisely what reverses it. The science here is not soft or uncertain. Older adults who practice the sit-to-stand exercise consistently, daily, with good form, show measurable gains in quad strength, in glute strength, in balance, and in the speed and ease of chair rising within just a few weeks. The muscles respond, the movement pattern sharpens, the confidence returns. So take a breath, because we have real, hopeful, practical work to do together. Before we get to the exercise itself, let me spend a minute explaining exactly what your body needs to do to rise from a chair. Because when you understand the mechanism, the exercise makes perfect sense, and you will do it better. There are 3 sets of muscles that have to fire together in a well-executed chair rise, and they each play a distinct role. The first is your quadriceps, the large muscles that run across the front of your thighs. These are the muscles responsible for straightening your knee as you push yourself upward. They are doing the heaviest lifting in a chair rise, quite literally. When the quads are strong, the legs feel solid and reliable underneath you. When they have weakened from sitting and inactivity, the legs feel shaky when you rise, and the temptation is to pull up with your arms to compensate. Rebuilding quad strength is the single fastest route to making chair rising feel easy again. The second is your glutes, your buttock muscles. These are what drive your hips forward and help you arrive at a full, upright stand. Think of the glutes as the finishing engine of the movement. A weak backside tends to make people hunch forward when they rise, rounding the back and putting stress on the spine. Strong glutes mean you can come up tall and open, hips fully extended, standing proud. They are also the muscles that power every step you take forward, so the benefit goes far beyond the chair. The third is your core, the deep muscles around your trunk and middle that hold your torso stable throughout the movement. Your core is what prevents you from tipping forward or wobbling as you transition from seated to standing. It is the steady foundation that everything else builds on. A weak core means the whole movement feels uncertain, even if the legs are reasonably strong. Now here is the specific pattern that tends to break down with age. And I want you to hear this carefully because it explains so much. When rising from a chair becomes difficult, most people unconsciously change how they do it. They stop leaning their chest forward at the beginning of the movement, that natural nose over toes lean that shifts your weight forward and loads the legs correctly. They skip that lean and instead grab the armrests and pull upward, which means the arms are doing the work the legs should be doing. They also let their feet drift out in front of them, away from the chair, which puts them in a biomechanically weak position and makes it nearly impossible for the quads to generate full force. The movement gets harder, the muscles get less use, the muscles get weaker, the movement gets harder still. It is a self-reinforcing cycle. And a daily practice of the sit to stand, done with intentional form, is exactly what interrupts and reverses that cycle. So let me get you properly set up, and we will go through this together step by step. All you need is a sturdy, stable chair, one without wheels, one that will not slide or tip when you push up from it. A solid dining chair is ideal. If your chair has armrests, that is perfectly fine. I will tell you when to use them and when to set your hands free. Make sure there are no loose rugs directly in front of the chair that could slip, and have some water nearby. And if you have any concern about your balance at all, please make sure someone is nearby or position yourself where you can reach a wall or countertop for extra reassurance. Your safety always comes first in this room. One important note before we begin. What I share here is educational coaching, not personal medical advice. If you have a condition affecting your knees, your legs, your balance, or your cardiovascular system, or if you have had any recent surgery or procedure, please check with your own doctor or physical therapist before making this a regular practice. Show them this video if that is helpful. And throughout the exercise, move only in the range and at the pace that feels completely comfortable. If you feel any sharp pain at any point, please stop and rest. We work in the zone of effort and mild exertion, never pain. That is the rule. Now let us get your position right, because position is everything in this movement. Sit forward on your chair, not all the way back against the backrest, but toward the front edge of the seat. You want to be far enough forward that your feet can sit back under your knees. Now bring your feet back so they are directly under your knees or slightly behind them. Plant them flat on the floor, hip width apart, a comfortable distance, not squeezed together and not spread too wide. Rest your hands lightly on your thighs. Sit up tall through your spine, shoulders soft and relaxed. Good. That is your starting position for every repetition. Now let me give you the single most important form cue of this entire exercise, because this one thing changes everything. The first movement in a chair rise is not pushing up with your arms. It is not throwing yourself forward. It is a deliberate, controlled forward lean of your chest, bringing your nose toward your toes. That forward lean is how your body shifts its center of gravity over your feet, which is the mechanical prerequisite for your legs to lift you. Without that lean, you are trying to lift yourself straight up from a backwards position, and you will always struggle. With the lean, nose over toes, the weight comes naturally forward, the feet press into the floor, and the quads and glutes can fire efficiently and do their job. This is the cue I come back to again and again. Let me walk you through one complete repetition verbally before we do our working sets, so you feel the whole sequence. Sit tall, feet back under the knees, hip width, flat on the floor. Breathe in to prepare. Now, lean your chest gently forward, nose over your toes, and feel your weight begin to shift into your feet and into the soles of your shoes. Then push evenly and firmly through both feet, straighten the legs, breathe out as you rise and come to a full standing position. At the top, gently squeeze your buttocks and stand fully upright, hips forward, back tall, shoulders over hips. Take a breath at the top. Now lower back down just as deliberately. Lean forward slightly from your hips, bend your knees, and lower yourself slowly and with control back onto the seat. Reach back with your bottom, do not just drop, and land gently. That is one repetition. Let me walk you through the breathing pattern one more time, because many people hold their breath during effort, and we want to avoid that. Breathe in as you sit tall and prepare. Breathe out as you lean forward and rise. Exhale on the effort. Breathe in at the top. Breathe out as you lower back down. Exhale on the effort in both directions. Keep the breath flowing the whole time, never held. Now let's do our first set together. 5 repetitions, slow and controlled. We are building the movement pattern first, not rushing. Take your time with each one. First repetition, sit tall, feet back, hands on thighs. Breathe in, lean the chest forward, nose over toes. Feel the weight shift into your feet. Breathe out as you push through both feet and rise slowly to a full stand. Squeeze the buttocks at the top. Stand tall. Breathe in. Now lean forward from the hips, bend the knees, breathe out as you lower back down, slowly and in control. Second repetition, sit tall, breathe in, lean forward, nose toward toes, push up through the legs, breathe out as you rise, squeeze the glutes, stand tall and open, breathe in, and lower back down, slowly. Nice and controlled. Wonderful. Third, breathe in, lean forward, feel that weight shift into the feet, push up, breathe out, stand tall, and lower back down, reaching back with the bottom, slow and steady. You are doing beautifully. Fourth repetition, lean forward, drive up through those legs, exhale as you rise, squeeze the buttocks, full stand, breathe in, and lower back down with control. Last one in this first set. Take a breath in, sit tall, lean forward, nose over toes, push through both feet, breathe out, come all the way up to a full, proud, upright stand. Squeeze the glutes, and then lean forward from the hips, bend the knees, and lower yourself back down slowly, gently, in complete control. And rest. Wonderful work. Let's breathe together, in through the nose, and slowly, fully out. Take your time. Now I want to talk about modifications, because this routine needs to work for every person watching, wherever you are starting from. If those 5 repetitions felt genuinely difficult, if your legs felt shaky, if you felt unsteady at any point, that is completely okay and nothing to be discouraged by. Here is what I want you to do. Rest your hands lightly on the armrests of the chair or on your thighs if your chair has no armrests, and allow a small push from the arms to help the legs get you started. Use only as much arm assistance as you need. The goal is that your legs are still doing the majority of the work and you are getting the full movement pattern in your body. As the weeks go by and the legs get stronger, you will naturally find you need the arm assist less and less, until one day you do not need it at all. Using the assist is not a shortcut. It is how we build up safely and keep the habit going. If even the full rise feels like too much right now, try a partial chair rise. Simply lean forward, press into the feet, and lift your bottom just 2 or 3 inches off the seat, then lower back down. A small lift is still training the quads and glutes. A small lift is still the movement pattern. Meet your body exactly where it is today and build from there. If the seat height of your chair makes the rise very challenging, you can place a firm, stable cushion or a folded blanket on the seat to raise the starting height by an inch or 2. A slightly higher surface makes the mechanics significantly easier, and as your strength builds over weeks, you can gradually lower the height back down. That progressive challenge is itself a training tool. For those of you who found the first set comfortable and feel ready for a little more, here are 2 progressions to try. The first is to slow down the lowering phase. Instead of lowering at a normal pace, count 3 slow seconds as you go down, lean forward, bend the knees, 3, 2, 1, and sit. That slow, deliberate lowering is called an eccentric contraction, and it builds strength very efficiently because the muscles are working hard to resist gravity the whole way down. The second progression is the touch and go. At the bottom of each repetition, your bottom just barely touches the seat without sitting fully back, and then you immediately begin the next rise. That takes away any rest at the bottom and keeps the muscles working continuously. Both of these are harder, so only add them when the standard version feels comfortable and controlled. Let us do our second set together now. 5 more repetitions, and this time I want you to place special attention on 2 things: the forward lean at the start and the glute squeeze at the top. Those are the 2 form points that most people let drift when they begin to tire, and they are the 2 points that make the most difference. Ready? Here we go. First one. Breathe in. Lean forward, nose over toes, feel the weight come into your feet. Breathe out as you push through those legs and rise. Squeeze the buttocks at the top. Stand tall. Breathe in, lean forward, lower slowly back down, breathe out. Second, sit tall, lean forward, push up, exhale as you rise. Glutes squeeze, stand, and lower slow, controlled, all the way down. Third repetition. Lean forward, feel the shift, drive up through the legs, breathe out, stand, and reach back with the bottom, lower yourself down slowly. Fourth, breathe in, lean, nose toward toes, push through both feet, exhale as you rise, squeeze the glutes, stand tall and open, and lower back down with control. Last one, take a full breath in, sit tall, lean that chest forward, feel the weight shift, push up through both feet, breathe out, rise all the way to a full upright stand, squeeze the buttocks, stand proud, and lean forward, bend the knees, lower yourself back down, slowly, gently, in complete control, and sit. Rest. Beautiful. You have done it. Deep breath in through the nose, and slowly, fully out through the mouth. Excellent work. You have just completed the full chair rise routine. 10 repetitions across 2 sets, with a rest in between, at a slow and focused pace. Done at that deliberate tempo, that is right around 90 seconds of working movement. That is the routine. Simple, focused, powerful when repeated daily. Let us finish with a brief cool down because the quadriceps have been doing real work today and they will thank you for a gentle stretch. Stay seated in your chair. Sit up nice and tall. Now gently extend one leg out in front of you, straightening the knee and hold it out straight for a comfortable few seconds. You will feel a gentle lengthening across the front of the thigh. That is the quad releasing. Keep the foot relaxed, keep breathing, and hold it there. Then slowly lower the leg back to the floor. Now the other leg. Extend it, hold it out, feel the front of the thigh stretch gently. Breathe, and lower it back down. Lovely. Roll your shoulders back and down gently. Take one last deep breath in, and let it slowly, fully out. Wonderful. Now here is what I want you to do with this routine, because the exercise session itself is only the beginning. The real power is in making it a daily habit. I want you to practice this chair rise routine every single day, not 3 times a week, every day. Here is why that matters. The sit to stand is a functional movement, meaning it is something your body needs to do every hour of every day whenever you get out of a chair. Daily repetition with good form builds both the physical strength in those muscles and the motor pattern, the muscle memory, that makes the movement automatic and easy. You are teaching your legs and your nervous system a movement they need constantly, and the more you rehearse it with intention, the more effortless it becomes. The easiest way to build the habit is to attach it to something you already do. Your morning coffee, when you sit down to eat lunch, before you settle in to watch the evening news. Whenever you get up from a chair for any reason, before you walk away, turn around and sit back down, then do 5 to 10 controlled chair rises right there. It takes under 2 minutes. If you do that at 3 or 4 sit-down moments throughout your day, you will have done 30 to 40 quality repetitions by bedtime. That is how strength builds. Here is how to track your progress, and I want you to do this because the numbers will motivate you. Today, right now if you like, set a 30-second timer and count how many chair rises you can do in that time using good form. Just count. Write the number down somewhere you will find it. Then come back in 2 weeks and do the same test again. For most people who practice daily, that number climbs noticeably in the first 2 to 3 weeks. When you see it go up, when 20 becomes 26, when 12 becomes 17, that is real, measurable, functional strength returning to your body. That number means your independence is being protected. Write it down, come back, celebrate. You can also track it far more simply. Just notice, day by day, whether the movement feels a little easier, a little less like effort, a little less like something you have to think through carefully. That growing sense of ease is also real data, and it tells you the muscles are waking up and the pattern is becoming automatic. One last safety note, because it matters, and I want to say it plainly every time. If you have any condition affecting your legs, your balance, your cardiovascular system, or your joints, please have a conversation with your own doctor before making this a daily practice. Show them this video if that is helpful. Most physicians who see careful, progressive exercise coaching like this are fully supportive of it. You know your own body and your history, and your doctor knows it too. And whenever you do this exercise, always sit next to a chair that is sturdy and will not tip or slide. Keep your hands available to catch yourself if needed, and if you feel dizzy or unwell at any point, please sit down immediately and rest. Those rules never change. Now let me bring it all together for you, because I want today's message to sit with you clearly. What we talked about is real and important. The ability to rise from a chair without using your arms is something clinicians and researchers genuinely track as a window into your strength, your balance, your independence, and your trajectory as you age. It is not a party trick or a simple fitness marker, it is a signal. And the fact that it weakens quietly and gradually is exactly why so many people miss it until it becomes a problem. The muscles that power a chair rise. The quadriceps at the front of your thighs, the glutes in your buttocks, and the core that keeps your trunk steady. These muscles respond to training at every age, with every repetition. That forward lean, nose over toes, that shifts your weight correctly, the push through both feet, the glute squeeze at the top, the slow, deliberate lower back down. 10 repetitions a day, every day, is an act of self-preservation. A small daily investment that compounds into something profound over weeks and months. You have done 10 repetitions today. You understand the form. You have the modifications if you need to start smaller, and the progressions when you are ready to go further. Your job now is to show up tomorrow and do it again, and the day after, and the day after that. To make that as easy as possible, I have put together a simple reference guide, the form cues, the rep counts, the modification steps, the progression options, and a little progress tracker, all laid out cleanly in a short document you can keep by your chair or print and put somewhere you will see it every day. The link is in the description below and in the pinned comment. Please go grab it. It is completely free, and it is my way of making sure this sticks for you long after today. And before you go, please leave a comment and tell me how many chair rises you got in 30 seconds on your first test. I read every single comment, and I genuinely want to know your starting number so we can celebrate your progress together when you come back in 2 weeks. If this video helped you, please share it with someone you love, a friend, a sibling, a parent, anyone who has started to notice that getting up from a chair is harder than it used to be. They deserve to know that this is preventable, that this is reversible, that the door is still wide open. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. You showed up, you followed along, you did the work. That matters more than you know. Take wonderful care of yourself, keep moving, and I will see you next time.